All right, y'all, I'm back. I had to go over there, see somebody real quick. What's up, young man?
What's going on here, bro?
All right, all right. All right, he's still here. Still here guarding McDonald's, y'all. Your hard-earned money is guarding McDonald's when across the street there, Advanced Auto hires a security company to come in and secure their property, and nobody hangs out in the street, Popeyes. But McDonald's doesn't do it because they get free police service from these guys. He is sitting here guarding McDonald's, y'all, on your tax dollars. They clock in and then they come and sit in front of billion-dollar business doing security work for them. It is now 7:14. heard they got. I heard they got Jose.
Jose.
Yeah, right there. I just got it. I just got it. Got it. This morning. He came and picked him up. One that worked there doing mechanic work. Got him this morning.
I live.
Alright, bro. Be safe out there. Alright, take care, man. All right, y'all. It is now 7:34, and he's still sitting here, y'all. Still sitting here doing security work. All right, y'all, we still here, but I want y'all to see something. This officer is on the clock. This ain't no overtime. This ain't none of that. He's on the clock. Even if he's on overtime, if he's in that uniform, he's still a government official of Prince George's County. And I want y'all to see something. See that? See the notebook open in there? Let me see something. It's too dark. See the notebook open in there? He's on the clock doing 911 calls, but he can't go nowhere because he's sitting here guarding big business, y'all. This shit crazy. I mean, somebody need to make sense of this, and I would be ashamed of myself saying that I'm a police officer and we catch you doing security work, guarding $1 billion business. But I want to make it clear to y'all, while these guys are wearing that uniform, they are government officials of Prince George's County. And they're sitting here working for $1 billion business, guarding it. If they want security, they can hire their own security. But why hire it when we're getting it free? Across the street there is Advance Auto, and as you see, because they got an armed guard over there, nobody hangs over there. But because they got free over here, as you see on the wall there, people still hanging out here. So he's really not even doing security work, he's just milking the taxpayers. And you see right there, there's still people hanging out in front of McDonald's. All they doing is milking the taxpayers. You taxpayers of Prince George's County. This company makes billions of dollars selling them dirty hamburgers. They can hire their own security. But it's a shame that the people that we hired to do police work have to be reduced to doing security work, guarding big business, y'all. This shit is crazy. And these officers, they got a union, and their union should be up in arms about this. But they're not, because they just as bad as these commanders they got in front. Why are you paying union dues when you end up doing security work? Again, Advance Auto has an armed guard. Popeye's got armed guard. Why is it that this $1 billion business here can't get no armed guard? And why is our servants always here working, doing security work in this parking lot? It's unbelievable, y'all. And earlier today, we had a DC officer sitting over at that Shell station. It is time we restructure how policing is done in America. 7:47. Like I say, they clock in and then they just come and sit down on rich people's investment. I guess McDonald's gets special treatment, y'all. McDonald's knows how to work the system. You call 911 enough, they'll put a police car down on their property. This mug got music popping off the scooter, y'all. Shit. He got music popping off the scooter. Only in America, y'all. It's sad when these guys clock in and they spend their whole time sitting guarding McDonald's. What the fuck is this? So somebody tell me, why is it that this officer and McDonald's get the liberties of using the people's car, burning up the people's gas, and the people serving in their uniform, and he sits out here the whole tour of duty? When we hired him to arrest people who commit crimes. We have a weak government, y'all, and it is time we take our government back and make it the government of the people, not of rich people's investments. This shit right here is ridiculous. How can you get respect and honor when you sitting on a rich person's investment, guarding their parking lot and their doors? You know, I can give firemen a little credit because they running burning buildings. But ain't no way in the world you gonna catch me sitting on somebody's parking lot. I mean, I would turn my badge in if somebody told me that's what I had to do when I was hired as a police officer. I'm just not gonna do it. You ain't gonna make me look weak sitting on somebody's billion-dollar investment when I was supposed to be out locking up criminals and shit. I'm just not gonna do it. I wouldn't. I know everybody needs a job, but you got to stand up and be counted, and that's what the wrong with America today. We just go along to get along instead of standing up. You know, we just allow shit to happen, and we just go along with it just for that dollar bill. All good money ain't good money, man. It's not. And when you walk around and find these guys sitting up on rich people's investments and using your hard-earned money to sit there, you know, that ain't good money. What's up, young man?
Hey, what's up?
All right. And I just want to show y'all that these guys these guys are on duty, and pursuant to Maryland and Prince George's County and Maryland's Constitution, you know, this is totally illegal. But because the citizens aren't saying nothing, they doing what they want to do. Rich people getting free security, and that's the bottom line. The thing about it is this: what are you deterring? You're saying they don't want the homeless people hanging around here. They don't want people panhandling. But what is my man down there doing? He's standing around McDonald's begging for money, which shouldn't be unlawful because this is what this country has come to. People got to eat. And these guys here are not going to stop these guys from coming out here begging for money. If you want to help them, take some of this money y'all got these guys sitting out here doing and feed them. You can put an armed security guard out here just like he's sitting out here. But see, the problem is McDonald's is getting richer off of you taxpayers in Prince George's County. And that's what's happening. These guys here are sitting here doing security work while, excuse me, bro, security work for these McDonald's, and McDonald's ain't got to pay no money out their pocket because they're getting free security by Prince George's County police, the taxpayers. Of Prince George's County. Somebody got to make some sense of this. And don't get me wrong, because there's a lot of officers I talk to do not like this, that they sitting out on rich people's investment, but it comes from the commanding officer, the chief, who's, I'm pretty sure, getting their hands greased. There's no reason for a citizen to walk up and see an officer sitting on private property for 8 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. All right, y'all, it is 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. And he's been here since 6 o'clock. In the same spot, burning up the gas that you taxpayers pay for. And you don't think somebody's getting their hands greased? Let me explain. Right down here is a liquor store. There's the gas station. There's Advance Auto. There's Popeyes, and there's a couple more shops. Ain't none of them got uh, treatment like this McDonald's here. As you see, well, I ain't gonna say the Shell because the Shell got it too, because we saw DC. But the rest of them, these are $1 billion business. They can hire their own. But why is they getting special treatment? If they calling 911 so much, why don't they go and hire a security company to put in this McDonald's? They got one at that Popeyes right there. They got one at Advanced Auto right there. Come on. All right, it's 8 o'clock. I think they leave around 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. We'll see. And the commanding officers all come up with the same, or we deterring crime. We're putting officers at specific points in case something happens. If your officers are riding around with them berries and cherries on like they doing, you know, you could easily deter and catch criminals, you know, but that's not what they're doing. You clock in and you just sit down because ain't nobody making no noise. The county executive of Prince George's County, the council people ain't making none, the executive ain't making none, none of them making no noise. People can't even go on vacation. They can't even fill their gas tanks up. They can't even go to the grocery store and buy no food because they paying these guys to secure $1 billion business where the people are eating steak, caviar, drinking champagne. Get out of here, man. And that's why they can do it, because they fooling y'all and using these guys that y'all paying to save money. It's 9:07 now. I mean 8:07. I'm gonna stay out here until 9 o'clock. I mean, this officer is just sitting in the same spot, burning up, when it filled his gas up with your tax dollars and sitting here the whole time. Somebody make sense of that. What's the purpose of having them? I thought they were here to catch criminals. But if you go to the majority of every McDonald's in Prince George's County, you got these officers sitting up on them. I don't understand that. I really don't. You know, what I think is somebody told me that they used to have security in here, but the state police caught them doing something illegal. So that's why these PG County officers are sitting up here. Whoever that own that security company is part of this Prince George's County squad. So they're assigning these guys to sit on the property. Until they figure that shit out with the state troopers, who gives security guards their commissions in Maryland. But to the state troopers, y'all need to come out here and do an investigation on all these security companies y'all got around here, because it's some, man, please. I mean, y'all got some wild stuff going on out here. And the Attorney General of Maryland or Prince George's County need to do an investigation. Why is it that these officers are extorting the taxpayers and sitting on rich people's investment? Hold on, y'all. I'll drop